Hello, this is an FTN News special report. I'm Greg Jacobs, 1113, live from DC. It's been a while for sure, but we have some breaking news. nUSA President Pop FR has been blacklisted and a new game announced. Let's start with the blacklist. So we have... Joining us on that is John of Doom. So John, what do you know so far? So, pedophilia? We had an audio difficulty. Can you repeat that?
He's been blacklisted today for baseless pedo accusations. This happened with this, President Hop has been blacklisted within just minutes ago, actually.
That's a very serious ban.
Yeah, if you make one of in general chat, you're going to be banned immediately, and you'll have no recourse for being trying to get back. Your ban is permanent. So we're trying to.
Is this ban appealable?
This is not appealable. This is perm, and you cannot appeal it.
So he cannot. So he cannot appeal this ban. So who's gonna be president now again?
I actually don't know. I really don't know because I don't think he had a vice president. So, but the chain of command shows the president pro tempore, or the Senate, or the speaker. I think the speaker's first up. So
I think there's I'm not sure if we do have.
We have an active speaker. That's Mason Rockefeller. He might be the new president. I'm trying to figure out.
Or would he be considered the acting president? Because wasn't Hop technically basically that?
He was basically the acting president. Yeah, his term should have been done months ago, but again, the whole nUSA inactivity situation happened. So he was just kind of like a caretaker, still doing stuff. But Congress has been active recently.
Fulton is in the call. So, what is your take on the ban?
I've been in close contact with Mason Rockefeller, and I believe that there wasn't really much. I don't think it will be much of a problem with this ban because he was already.
This is a justified ban?
I'm not sure if it was justified because it may have. I mean, in my opinion, it could have even been set up by his own fellow, peers in the House and in the Senate because he was already heavily disliked by Congress.
I challenge.
Hey! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! I'm live.
No, I want to challenge you to something.
Cut the feed! Cut the feed! Cut the feed!
4, 3, 2, 1. The latest from FTN News. I'm John of Doom in Washington. Police are responding to a mass shooting outside of a mall in Copenhagen, Denmark. Police say the suspect, a 22-year-old, opened fire at multiple locations at the Field Shopping Center in the Denmark capital. 3 people have been taken to a local hospital, according to a spokesperson for Rigshospitalet, Denmark's largest hospital. Police have not ruled out the possibility of more suspects and the possibility of the shooting being terror-related. An investigation.
Alright, where are you?
Okay, so anyways, I apologize for that.
Yeah, my thing will be on standby.
I apologize for that interruption. That will not happen again. We are taking this down afterwards, okay?
We're going to be taking this. Actually, we can just edit that out.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is an FTN News special report. As you've heard already, Hop FR has been blacklisted. Now let's get to the other major story. an announcement from group management here.
Yeah,
Here
the
they have
announcement
announced
was
a new city being added. Boulder. They have announced Boulder, Colorado. In a statement, here's the letter. Dear community, in the past few months, a group of individuals dedicated to securing the future of this group have been working tirelessly towards the creation of new experiences that will revitalize this community. We know that USA has seen a downfall in activity long predating the departure of Ridgeway for the group. It's time we take responsibility for the fact that the main USA group, and by extension, the federal government, has been neglected for a long time now. Those who disliked Ridgeway were abandoned, and we'd like to apologize for this wholeheartedly. So you can see them really owning up to it here. We are delighted to announce the imminent release of Boulder, a county game situated within the state of Colorado. Boulder features new expanses of the map centerpiece, which is Canton City. There are a whole host of freshly developed game features, many of which will be available upon launch, whilst others are rolled out in stages. There will be more game mechanics and jobs for civilians to earn money without AFK farming, in addition to a range of career opportunities for law enforcement. This is just a small snapshot of the release, and we trust you will discover a whole host of game elements that have been developed with the community in mind. There's no doubt that the release of Boulder will be a surprise to many of you. We indeed tried to keep it the way, but we recognize your expectation was the first game released to be a refresh at DC. We're sure this county will not be a distinct element from the USA. Going forwards, we will be focusing our efforts. The focus of our efforts will be more closely oriented around the central group, with any satellite games being closely integrated as a whole. The federal government will be involved in Boulder. A number of federal departments will have the opportunity to operate in its jurisdiction. To those who take issue with this, it's worth noting that integration will be restricted depending on how the responsibilities are used. Will not hesitate to take action to protect Boulder's integrity should the federal government abuse the responsibilities they are awarded. An FLETC certification to be announced in the near future will universally apply and will be the only required law enforcement certification regardless of whether federal, state, or county department. We'd also make it clear that Washington, D.C. is still being developed, and it is still absolutely our intention to release it as a part of our family of games. For those who are waiting for a DC release, we ask you to give Boulder a try. The end goal is to create a balanced environment where law enforcement officers are held accountable for their actions. This is all while recognizing that human beings make mistakes and should not lose their hard work due to errors in their judgment. All community members will be equal in their importance, regardless whether they choose to join law enforcement, civilian employment, or criminal ventures. Moderation administration commands will not be used for personal amusement, and developer logs will not be used to interfere with roleplay and game mechanics unless in the event of severe community rules violations. We hope you enjoy playing Boulder, and we look forward to hearing your feedback about the game that we have developed to you. Yours sincerely, Group Management. So,
That was a mouthful.
So what are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on this game? Announcement here.
In my opinion, I just hope that it's not a Ridgeway 2.0 because I know everyone's more or less scarred.
Everyone's saying that.
They said that they're acting to prevent that here. So
who's trying to prevent that?
Clan management. They said they want to keep the federal government involved as soon as possible. So,
but my problem is that it's a county, and was that not what Ridgeway was? And I'm
assuming they want to keep an element of local government in there.
Right.
I think local government would be good, but I think the issue with Ridgeway was, I'm going to say, Ridgeway had opportunity. Ridgeway could have greatly benefited nUSA, only if they integrated the federal government from the start. Okay.
And the thing is, what caught me the most from that announcement was an apology. This was, I think, it's written by Paul, and it's basically for the first time plan management saying, when we released Ridgeway, we neglected the entire group as a whole,
No more bacons, really.
and we apologize for that. That's the
Yeah, that stood
part of
out
the
to me
letter that
immediately.
it just stood out to me. It's like they're owning up to the mistake that they made, but at the same time, they're re-energizing this fear that many people have. Oh no, another group game. This is not going to end out well.
Yeah. And another problem that's been brought up as well is the because they already said that they were also making a version 2 of DC, which a lot of people are concerned about the activity split there. Like, is one of the games just going to be dead, or how will that work?
They said in
bet
the
you
letter that
these
DC
two
will.
games will help grow the community. I know one of them will be less active than the other, but I bet you server startups could probably help the other one. Like, think of it as a early on as the DC Las Vegas situation.
Where's SWAT? Where's SWAT?
I think they did have 2 cities in the past, so I bet we could probably get it to work.
Yeah, but that was when it was all, fun and stuff.
Yeah.
A county game many people are concerned about in recent days. What happened when Ridgeway was released. They had no federal involvement whatsoever. This was to appease the county people who came in from, let's say, Firestone and Rockport, if you remember that. County people who were going in, they didn't want any federal involvement whatsoever, and the clan management just acted up.
Extreme libertarians.
Well, I believe we've been recent. Like, I've been talking in the general chat room. We have apparently been promised involvement from the federal government. First, just starting with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, but I think they're going to slowly integrate other things, like even the Secret Service, which I'm not sure how they'll do that, but somehow they're going to
some sort of location in there. They can just go in. By the way, we have no president right now. He's been blacklisted, and I'm not sure what's going to happen.
I'm assuming I think we should have some.
I'm trying to reach out to the Speaker of the House, Mason Rockefeller, for comment. I'm in general chat. I'm actually walking towards the. Oh, okay, yeah. There's gunshots being fired near the DC headquarters, near the DC Metropolitan headquarters. I'm near there right now, so it's just nUSA's back.
Let's head there.
What?
You can get in my car.
And I've just been shot and killed.
No, I have a big red news van.
Oh.
Did you go? Don't. I'm gonna go to the remains of the RBX NBC studios.
Who knows? I'm gonna try and convince him. I wonder, can we buy that?
We could actually. I think we could set it up. I'm at VS now. I got shot and killed. But anyway, to prove your point, I'm trying to respond to see.
We just bumped into those people there. Okay.
Yeah, Hop got blacklisted again. The breaking news. Q&A is happening in 3 minutes in the nUSA stage. In the nUSA Discord server involving questions and answers. They'll be answered. We might want to carry that.
Yes, I've been informed by Mason Rockefeller that he has currently no idea what's going on, and if he'll be the next president. He's just not sure at all. Because I don't believe the line of succession was ever actually set.
Yeah, we still have that line of succession.
I'm gonna say the crisis there is was not the most critical time for nUSA. This is going to probably determine whether the group will survive or whether this group will be dead.
I think I'm looking at the Discord.
We might cut to the
y'all just passed me, by the way. Y'all just passed me.
Oh, we did? Can I tell you why my van's
I
just
don't
bright
think we
red?
even have a
I was planning on
PPT
starting a
because
transportation business before
I don't think we
the
have
incident.
a PPT. Do we?
You don't have a what?
I don't think we have a PPT, a President Pro Tempore. I'm looking
No,
at the Senate Trello. They removed the previous President Pro Tempore.
I believe
Um,
we just have
Now,
the.
Aaron T. Roosevelt is the President Pro Tempore, I believe.
Interesting.
Well,
I'm checking. Yes,
New
correct.
guy.
In the Discord server, it says that Aaron T. Roosevelt is the
okay,
president.
let's get out. So yeah,
I'm going to listen to the
let's get to the
events. I'm not sure if we want to carry that right now, but
yeah, let's get to the Q&A. Let's cut to the Q&A.
Yeah, we're going to do a Q&A in progress. Let's listen in. Jetpack JKL is the
Jetpack JKL is hosting the Q&A.
Croaky, I currently have COVID, so a bit of a sore throat. Okay. Oh, I speak quickly. I didn't realize that I did, but no, this isn't rap talking. Okay, it's 1:30. Let's start. Okay, so yeah, if you want to raise your hand, I'll have a look at this. As I said before, if you aren't able to use your microphone, then post your questions in general chat room and at me. If I don't see it after a while, then please post it again because it means I missed it. We'll start with City Prosecutor. You've been invited to speak.
Yo, what up, my nigga Jetpack? Alright, my question.
Let's do that.
Off to a great start.
Lovely. Before that would have been a permanent ban, so he's lucky. Let's try that again. Take 2. John or Doom? You've been invited to speak.
Okay. Good evening. Good morning. I have a question regarding the aspects. So, just generally, based on what we have, what you've announced so far, when can we see a release of Boulder, and what can we expect to have in it in terms of the federal government? And can we see like a local government, for example?
Hey, dude's really getting his money's worth with questions. So, with regards to the release time frame, we're hoping to release it this month. Obviously, there's always unexpected delays. That's why it's currently still not released as of now. I'm not going to make you a definitive promise on dates, but as soon as it is ready, we will get it out to you. With regards to federal integration, so they're very clear there is going to be federal integration. Obviously, if that is abused, then we will have to relook at that again and potentially limit or restrict it temporarily if it's abused. And I say that sincerely, I hope it isn't abused and that people are able to act sensibly so we can have a nice federal integration. At the start, we're looking at FBI as the sort of investigatory agency, as close to the beginning as we can. Later with SS being introduced at some point, because obviously like people need protection. Did you have another question? There was 3, wasn't there?
My other question was about can we see some sort of local government, like a state government, a county government in the game as
Right.
well?
Yes.
And how would that work with the federal government?
Absolutely. So the goal is there is a goal for there to be at least one local legislature. Whether that takes the form of a state legislature, that may well be the case. But there's absolutely intention to be there to be sort of a state legislative body. They will only have local jurisdiction, so they will only be able to pass things that affect the local area. So
My other concern was as soon as the announcement was released, people were saying comparing it to Ridgeway and how nUSA kind of died after that. What do you have to say to those people who are concerned that this will be just like Ridgeway?
So, I'm not going to lie to you, it's similar to Ridgeway. In fact, many of the map elements are from Ridgeway, on the basis that we have the legal rights to use that intellectual property because it's nUSA Group intellectual property. However, as I stated very clearly, the intention is for the attitude to be very different. Firstly, there's a whole host of new game features. There's new areas of the map. There's new vehicles. There's new game mechanics, but also the attitude is different. The FLETC certifications required to join law enforcement will be quite different to Ridgeway. There's no copy-paste note-taking. There is none of that, standing around, yes, sir, no, sir, left face, right face. No, you don't need that. That's pointless. You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste our time. You'll be taught what you need to know. That's it. So it'll be nice and hopefully nice and quick.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks very much. How do I see? Oh, okay. Thank you. Awesome. That works too. I'm trying to figure out how I move people from the thing. So look at the general chat room real quick. Will it be paid like Ridgeway was? Okay. So no, I don't believe it will be. We haven't actually discussed anything about being a paid access game, but I don't think that would be that's the right idea. That would just kind of be a bit of a middle finger to the entire community if we did that. Obviously, there'll be game passes and things in the game, but I don't see why we would sort of screw over the community by making it paid access when you guys have been waiting so long. That just seems very counterintuitive. Police tape isn't currently a planned feature, but I'm never going to say never. Will be a PB in it. Not in its current form. However, there is a goal for there to be some kind of corrections department, potentially a local one, which you would be more than welcome to apply for. We'll release department leadership interest forms at some point. Okay. Major expansions. Oh, so there's one large city and some sort of more suburban areas. There will be, at some point, we'll do preview streams where the QA people will go and sort of show you around the map. Will any part of the criminal side be dev funded? I'm not sure what you mean dev funded, but we'll encourage it. We're going to make it easier for people to make and to keep money, because we recognise that criminals and cops are the cornerstone of the group. It's not going to be a cop worshipping circle jerk like Ridgeway was. Every single player is just as important as every other player. That's the hallmark. You're okay. I'm gonna have to stop reading the ones from the chat at some point. Is there any concern for activity will be split between Boulder and the new DC game? Yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yes, I share that concern. However, we have to hope that it won't be an issue. People are going to play what they're going to play, but when both games are eventually released, people will have the freedom of choice of what they want to play, and they'll be more than welcome to play either. That's not really something that we can control without holding back the game unnecessarily. And I know people want DC, so I'm not going to say it's ready and it's soon, but we're not going to just hold it back for the sake of Boulder, because that would be wrong. Will there be a C in county board? We don't know whether it's going to be like county executive or governor. Exploiters will be banned. So what do you mean? How you would deal with exploiters? They'll be banned, same as everybody else. Internally, I'll answer that question. Back to the EC. Show requests. Okay. nUSA ranking bots. Invited to speak.
Hello, greetings. Okay, I have 2 questions. One I'll just talk to you in DMs about, but the other one, are we going to have like news organizations back? Because I've nothing to do with C-SPAN, and I'm still annoyed about that. After its removal.
So they're not going to have teams, I don't think.
Okay.
But they'll be like user creatable businesses will be allowed and encouraged. If you want to set up a news organization, by all means, go ahead. Don't obviously make it like a state-funded one. So, like, if you call it C-SPAN, that'll probably be an issue. If we wanted that, we'd have to think about it. But like, if you wanted to set up, I don't know, the nUSA ranking bot news organization, go ahead. And if efforts put into it, then we'll see about what we can do about giving access to free cam to like spectate sessions of legislative things in game.
Another thing I do want to ask, but this isn't really related. Who would I talk to about getting like ranks in some groups fixed? Because I was supposed to have Hop do that, but he just didn't.
Me. If you probably best do it this weekend rather than tonight, because I'm swamped with DMs. But if you ask me this weekend, I've now got the ranking bot in a bunch of groups, so I can help you with that.
All right, that's all my questions then.
Cool. Thank you. Next up, Salty. Invited to speak. You gonna unmute? Okay, still no miking, I see. War Aims, invited to speak.
Alright, so, me to you personally, man. Are you guys removing SF?
Oh, so,
are you guys removing
the current goal is there is not going to be an SF team in Boulder. However, I don't see any reason why we would remove it from the current DC. So if you wanted to still play the DC,
why wouldn't it be on the new game?
Because there is no such agency or department as SF. It's made up. In the way things are, if you want to be realistic, there'll be SWAT teams and special tactics teams within local police departments. We may look at having a special forces within the military components. Yeah, so there'll be like there might be like a special forces within the military components, but it won't be just like SF as separate. It'll be within military.
Will the game be in R6 or R15?
R15.
Oh, fuck that. Alright. So stop shooting me at fucking BC, you piece of shit. Fucking hate you.
Okay, thank you. That was interesting. Will a train be added? Adventurer, yes. There is going to be automated public transit. With regards to the difference between federal and state/county law, we're going to have to work it out when it happens. That we're just going to be involved in and speak to them. Ultimately, the goal is to avoid conflict between the two. We're going to start out with a set of laws to try and minimize that happening. But we'll just encourage people to sit down and talk about it. I can't really comment on this. The thing actually happens. Okay. Row files. Invited to speak.
What up? I don't have questions. I just want to be in here with you, buddy.
Why did you put your hand up?
Because I wanted you to bring me in here. Wasn't that the point of putting my hand up?
No.
Oh boy.
Bizarre. Robert West invited to speak.
Okay, so I have one question and one question only, and this may go for everyone, but I've got to pull it up. Will there be favoritism for the mods like there was in Ridgeway, where the first set of commands that got put into the groups were all basically close friends of the owners? You know.
I'm really glad you asked that, because that works great for me. Absolutely not. They're going to put out public interest forms for the department leadership at some point in the development. Like at some point, I guess after the game is dropped. But no, there will not be. Just because you're a mod, you will not be getting any guaranteed position in any kind of department or agency. That is where we're going to be very much different from Ridgeway. That is the whole concept and behind the difference in vision for this game.
All right,
So,
thank you.
Cheers. Next, there's Zombie, invited to speak.
Right, so you're saying about how federal departments will be utilised, but I'm wondering to what extent, because obviously with the federal government, there's lots of different federal departments, and it gets a bit excessive at that point. And you were saying about ranges of career options, so that also include municipal and state departments within Barkland, as well, or Boulder, whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah.
So there is going to be a range of career options. It's not going to. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not going to be as wide as it is at DC. There's not going to be 100 different teams, because with the how immersive the new gameplay and the new groups are going to be, you wouldn't be able to sustain, 4 jobs. It wouldn't be sensible. You wouldn't be able to dedicate yourself enough to each of them. That doesn't mean you're going to be limited to one job. You can't be a bus driver and a cop.
My question's more about is like, so you were saying how federal departments will be used, but to like sort of what extent? Because obviously there's tons of different federal ones in DC, right? So I'm sort of wondering which ones would be added, because obviously you've got the municipal, state departments or whatever that's going to be in there, as well as the federal ones.
Sure.
And so I'm wondering sort of what will be added to compensate for having municipal and state departments already there.
The primary police force, at least initially, is going to the responsibility is going to lie with local police departments / sheriffs. With that said, stuff like FBI's will be planned sort of, I guess, primarily with an investigatory responsibility, but I guess with some kind of access, with also Secret Service being added, and they will obviously need the vehicles and tools to do their job as well. The more we can see that things are being integrated successfully and smoothly, and people are being sensible, the more we will integrate things. The less that people are responsible, the less we will integrate things. So we'll start off slowly, and the more that is people are responsible and don't sort of take the piss, then we'll happily look to integrating more things.
All departments have slightly different tech to each other. Will it be all unified where, say, like with Ridgeway, how every department gets the same tools and whatever, essentially the same vehicles, or would it be something different where one maybe gets, say, different rifles or whatever?
I'm not aware of there'll be different liveries for vehicles. I'm not aware of any plans to different loadouts. I think there will be different. I know there'll be some different versions of guns, but that's definitely sounds like a suggestion that we can look at, because it does sound sensible.
All right, fair enough.
Cool, thank you. I'll just take a look at general chat and ring in quickly. There's no strip club. Federal restaurants, I don't know. I'm not gonna go there, because that's not something that is in our purview right now. Okay, let's add someone else to speak. Okay, City Prosecutor, I'll give you a second chance.
Hello. All
My
right.
finger was hovering over the kick button. So
No. All right. My question is, will there be like robbing, like not like nUSA type of robbing, like DC, but like Firestone type of robbing?
I'm not going to reveal the specifics of any of the new mechanics that may or may not have been developed.
Okay, so
we
yes.
we want that. I'm not. When I say I'm not revealing anything, I genuinely mean
Okay.
it.
And how will the role play be? Will it be like Ridgeway or like Firestone?
To be honest with you, I don't play Firestone, so I can't.
Well,
compare.
Firestone's a good game. Everyone here should play it.
Okay, well, it
no,
will
but
be
like,
similar in Ridgeway to its mechanics, but different in
but for
the
like
sort of
role
the global
play,
attitudes.
what's the role play gonna be like?
The sort of how harshly we enforce roleplay will be uniform across the board. So PUM will be something that is enforced regardless of whether you are a cop or a civilian. I suppose we're looking at sort of roughly the same amount of the level of roleplay as Ridgeway is.
Okay, and will there be like a lot of guns or just like?
I mean, define a lot.
As in, like you could customize your guns with attachments.
That sounds like a feature inquiry to me, which I'm not going to comment on.
Right.
So yeah, thank you. Totally not say me. Invited to speak. Oh, okay, he's disappeared. Great Jakers, invited to speak. Hi, what's your question?
So I have a few questions. First off, when can we expect to see what the gameplay of this game looks like and all that, stuff like that? We expect to get our first glimpse of what the game's gonna look like, stuff like that.
That's a good question. We would hope to show off some kind of preview at some point. I'm not going to give a specific date because we don't have a specific date for release, but we will aim to show you a preview before launch.
Okay. Also,
Or at launch, rather.
Will there be like other jobs? Will you carry some of the jobs that are other than law enforcement? Like, I don't know, will it be a fire department like there was in DC? Will we have like Department of Transportation, like on the bus service? Will we have stuff like that in this game and stuff like that by launch?
So different departments are going to be released at different stages. Not everything is going to be dropped at the beginning. So without giving away specifics, yes, there are going to be other things, other departments and jobs you can join other than just law enforcement. Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Because otherwise that would just be a cop worship game, which we don't want to make.
Also,
Okay.
I want to go back. I want to say something about the DC reboot. So you said, is the DC reboot in development or is it just planned for the future?
It's in development.
So it's in development right now.
Correct. Yes.
Nice.
We never lied to it. It's a big city. It has a lot in it,
Yeah.
and it takes a long time. We felt that we could get this out first, and it is a good game, but DC is and has always been planned to be released. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Ben, invited to speak.
Hello, Mr. Jetpack.
Good day, mate.
JKL. What makes you think that anyone in nUSA actually wants to play this Ridgeway 2.0 ripoff? I mean, if most of us stayed with nUSA and purposely didn't go to Ridgeway, why would we want to play what is effectively just Paul's grab at a ripoff of Ridgeway since he got removed? I mean, that's how I view it.
Okay. Fair question. Not fair question, but I'll bite. One, it's not Ridgeway 2.0. We've been explicitly clear with that. The attitudes are the same, while some of the game will be similar, and the mechanics will be similar. That is because Paul scripted it. You can't expect somebody to not use their work that was just happened to be stolen from them by a couple other people. But the attitudes are going to be different. You know, the name of this is different. The law enforcement certification process is going to be different. As is the whole sort of mechanics through which civilians will be able to get money easily, etc. With regards to what you're saying about what makes you think that other people are interested or even want to play it, I would say that the 43 people in the VC all queuing up to talk and listen is a pretty good indicator.
Jetpack, you could make a stage for anything and people will come up. Trust me. But
I
be
did
sure to
before.
vote me
Last
for
time 5 people
president next
joined.
term. I
Okay,
love you all.
let's not have the advertising. Thank you. Frostlights invited to speak.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't.
Is there going to be housing like in Ridgeway, in Boulder, and DC?
That is the aim, yes. Oh, wait, sorry, do you mean in DC?
Like permanent
yes.
housing, like you pay weekly and you keep the house?
That's something that we've had. That I guess is something that works well and probably would look to include. Yeah.
And is there going to
again,
be like warrants as well, and like vaults inside the houses that like they can raid and shit like that?
I'm not going to elaborate on specific gameplay features. However, these are all sort of mechanics that Paul has developed in his scripting.
I apologize, senior moderator Value Eyes. I sincerely apologize. You can continue. Sorry.
So I was saying that those are all things that Paul has developed as game mechanics. So I would not rule out things like that being included, but I can't.
Yeah, I understand. Cool.
Be specific.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Shikai, invited to speak.
Hello. On Independence Day, you put out a poll, and one of those polls asked, "What are you looking forward to the most in the new game?" And one of them was new jobs and opportunities that received 92 votes. So, what kind of new kinds of opportunities and jobs can we expect in the community?
So, as I mentioned, there is going to be limited federal integration. So there'll be opportunities in like a FBI and later SS way. There's going to be sort of non-law enforcement roles that are gradually rolled out, as well as also like local law enforcement departments that are gradually rolled out. We're not going to start with all of them at the start because otherwise it just becomes crazy with a bunch of different departments, and it's quite hard to manage until you sort of build the community a bit more. So things will be released as we have capacity for them. There'll be the opportunity to make civilian businesses, and people can start their own things. The sky's the limit in that regards, but there will be sort of a standard, I guess, sort of like county level of law enforcement jobs and like local sort of public service jobs.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Fedora Master B98. What an interesting name. I have invited you to speak.
Howdy.
Hi.
So my question is here, is this going to be under the nUSA umbrella, or is this going to be a separate state of Colorado group with the county within it? How is this going to be set up?
It is absolutely within the purview of the main USA group with all the federal integration that comes with it. There may be
So it's going to be just like the Las Vegas thing and all that, technically.
The gameplay mechanics are not going to be the same, and it's not going to be like anything anyone's ever seen before in terms of how the integration is done, because the previous sort of local and federal integration has been done pretty poorly. May have seen the previous sort of spats that were had between DCC, C, and
Okay, cool.
Fed Guns.
Right on. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Nice Yada. Invite to speak. Yes, and that's the goal. We never want it to be laggy, and Paul's the scripter, so we will try and make it if we can. Oh, there's no mic. Apparently. Do you want to turn your mic on or type your question out? Okay, I'll wait a second. Okay, what I might do is come back to you, and if you do have a mic, then just put your hand up again. Thank you. Jonks, how do you pronounce that? Invited to speak.
D-Jonks.
D-Jonks, okay.
I had a question for Paul.
Sure, and if Paul wants to come and answer it, he's welcome to. I'm not sure if he's in a position to be able to speak right now.
Okay, well, this is for you.
For me? So did you say it was for me, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask right now.
Okay. If you're preparing your soundboards, just saying. Please don't. Okay. Moving on. KMVS. God help us.
God help us? Really? Really? What
Maybe.
did I do? What did I do, bro? Okay,
I'm just
got
expecting
3 questions.
my screen to go start flashing with the Matrix and find out you've hacked my computer through Discord.
I got 3 questions, okay?
Yeah,
two
go
of them kinda inclusive of being a feature. So
okay, I'll just tell you if I can't answer it.
Is there gonna be like a clan system?
I'm not going to answer that.
Okay. Will there be car bombs?
Not going to answer that.
Why?
Because I give away all the features that I want people to be excited about. We want people to be excited about at launch. We want there to be people to play the game and find
if you
these things.
haven't done a clan system, I advise it.
The one thing I will say about clan, especially the clan system, is that we are trying to move away from kill leaderboard style gameplay.
Bro,
that doesn't mean
that's the fun.
It's less so that style of game, but also there's still going to be plenty of opportunities for killing.
Yeah, you're trying to include DC mechanics with Ridgeway style, or vice versa, right? What about
it's more Ridgeway mechanics because that's what Paul scripted.
What about purchasing guns and getting money?
You'll still be able to buy guns.
Yeah, how will getting the money work? Because in DC, everyone just uses the bank exploit, and in Ridgeway,
fair enough.
all
Okay.
everyone did was AFK.
So okay, yeah, I can answer that. It is going to be. We're going to make it different to Ridgeway. It is going to be easier to make money as a civilian because we recognise that just having people AFK farm and then have to go buy guns with a bunch of alts is not fun. It makes the game look a bit weird. It's a bunch of effort.
There's incentive for money then, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we're going to ban AFK farming. If people want to do it, they
No, I mean, there's going to be stuff for an incentive to get money.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay,
no,
my final question. My final question. Why are you a bitch?
Good question.
I'm joking. Bye.
Very good question. See ya.
That
Damn, that one's done. Dijon,
by,
I'll let you
I
back.
don't-
So because you said you lagged
pay
out.
attention to it on these videos.
I'm sorry, I lagged out.
That's all right. You can go ahead. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Lagged out. Sure, definitely. I saw that one coming from a mile away. Puppy Rex. Invited to
Sir,
speak.
I have a good question.
I'm sure you do.
Are we gonna have casinos and shit like that, you know?
I'm not going
Strip
to comment.
clubs.
There's no strip clubs.
Damn.
I know you wish you would because
Yeah, you know, it's my side job anyways. Last question. What team for federal government will be inside this counter game? This whatever they call it. What's this game?
the currently what looked at ones for
Boulder
federal
County, there we go.
integration are FBI and at some point SS, obviously because like government needs protecting. Everything else is as of yet not sure and will depend on how things are rolled out in stages.
I see. All right. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
You too. Let's have a look. A nice Yada. I'll give you another shot. Invited to speak. Hello. Are you able to talk, or if you are speaking, I can't hear you. I'm not sure this is another D-Junk situation. Okay, I guess not. Dash and Wolf invited to speak.
Hear me?
Yep.
So like you said, currently only FBI and SS will be on. So what's gonna happen to all the other departments?
So, firstly, just because someone doesn't have a team doesn't mean they won't be able to operate. It's important that we recognise that there will be some things that don't need a team to operate. You know, intelligence doesn't need a team because otherwise, what you had before is just like intelligence, like CIA going around arresting people, driving around in Humvees. With that said, yeah, that's the plan bonds for federal integration right now. For everything else, I don't see why we might not. People, I guess, could still play DC on other things that aren't Boulder integrated. Probably not going to stop you doing that. So, if you really don't like Boulder, you're free to still play DC. We're not going to stop you. But we hope you'll give it a shot. That you give it enough of a try. Give some feedback on it. Give us the opportunity to fix things if it needs it or rebalance. We will be very much listening. So yeah, it's an opportunity for the community to input and sort of shape the game in the way they want it to be going forwards.
And will there be the same game mechanics as Ridgeway?
Yes, it's pull scripting, so fundamentally yes. So I think the interact system will be the same.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go. I guess I've got some people asking to speak again. nUSA ranking bots.
Okay, I have a couple more questions. So
Cool.
this one might classify as a feature question, but will the gun system stay the same how it's like RCL based, or are we gonna have like, bad guns?
Are you asking like whether it's going to be FPS that or third person shooter or not?
I'm asking if it's gonna be like first person shooter, or if it's gonna stay the same how it's like RCL based.
It is not going to be first person shooter guns. As in, like you'll be able to zoom in and shoot first person if you want to, but
Okay, but is it gonna be like on the shoulder or like what?
What do you mean by that? As in, like, if the primary way of using it will be third person, and like you move your cursor around the screen, like you would with the current.
Okay. So is it gonna be like third person, but you have like your cursor stuck to the screen?
No.
Or is it just gonna stay the same of like how it is?
I guess yeah. That's if your cursor's not fixed, you move it around like crosshair around.
Also,
yeah, no, we're not
why
going
is
to go
Seffel
strategy.
still a clam?
Oof. That's a very good question. I'm sure you'll ask that. joke aside, he's a very good head of moderation and a good person to work with. Robert West, invited to speak again.
Alright, so I have a question, right? So is like when we had DC and then we had Ecleon and then it went to Ridgeway, is it going to come back to this county, you know?
Specifically about Echelon?
Like, I mean, like the whole Ecleon service, like the way things is done with Ecleon, is it going to be like used in the new city county?
No. Echelon was. I'll try not to be too expressive, but my personal opinion on Echelon has always been unnecessary for what it was used for. Being sort of a glorified wrapper for the Roblox API. And it was often used to sort of issue blacklists and national security threats on people, and it was all very secret and hush hush.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, alright then, that's good. But will there be like what databases and all that in the game?
Not going to comment on that because that's a game feature, but there will be ways of storing data on people for department stuff.
Alright, yes. Alright, okay, that's what we want. Alright, thanks.
Cool, no worries. Stampy L. Fulton.
Hello?
Hiya.
Yeah, I was just, my first question is, will national parks be integrated somewhere and where there'll be like a, park service, kind of like there was in Ridgeway?
So there's the release sort of pipeline for the departments isn't finalized, but at some stage that is I guess that is intended. However, at what stage it is released, I couldn't possibly confirm for you yet.
All right, and my final question is, will the U.S. Will the Capitol Police be like integrated? Could it be integrated as like sort of a national guard, or is it that already being planned, or would that be considered?
I can pretty confidently say the Capitol Police wouldn't be integrated into Boulder. I'd imagine they'd be in the new DC whenever that's released in future. But there will be some sort of military sort of association in Boulder for people to join. So like a National Guard kind of thing. Yeah, but that's not really anything to do with USDP. Cool. Thank you. General Charon, let's have a look. Nice yada? Like, great, what? Is Nice Yada got his hand up again? He doesn't have his hand up. Like, was you trolling me again? Hey, Tim Culture. I swear to God, bud, if you were going to be silent.
No. I got two questions, man. So
Okay,
what's
sweet.
up? So what's up with the new DC? What's up with that? I thought we was gonna get a new DC.
You still are going to get a new DC.
Yeah, but like, why gotta be a county for it?
So we were very clear when we gave our answers to people's sorted questions. We were never explicit about the next game being DC. We said that DC was in development. We said that there was a new game coming. We never said that the new game was actually DC. And throughout, we've tried to keep things as a nice surprise. And it's worth bearing in mind that this county game is not going to be like county games, the experience that you may have encountered before, where you go around and cops get to free reign to abuse, and it's very cop centered, and we want it to be enjoyable to play for everybody. So the efforts to balance things are heavy.
So like, so we get in the county first, then we get in the before DC, or how that's gonna work? Which one we get first?
Boulder is going to be coming before the new DC by quite a bit. The Boulder is the current planned release.
Alright,
DC
for
will be
sure.
following, and it's being developed.
All right, that's all I got. I'm out.
Cool. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Joel of Doom again. Okay.
Hi, I had a question regarding private businesses. Will there be some sort of private business interrogation in there? And if so, will they be allowed to have like buildings and whatnot?
Okay, I'm not going to comment on like the individual game features that we're releasing. What I will say is that our goal will be to support people's private businesses where we can.
So you're saying you might have like some sort of thing going on there, some sort of support for private businesses, no matter how that may look like in the final game?
I suppose so.
Okay.
At least at some stage. It may not be on release, but certainly at some point, because we want to promote community businesses and they're good for the game. That doesn't mean that we're going to just start handing out random property to businesses like has been hinted at previously, because that what happens is then you just have people sit on their business and then it dies, and it gets very hyped up for a day or two, and then it dies. So that also just sort of promotes favoritism. We want to make things fair to a reasonable degree, and we want the businesses that are integrated to have some sort of
I'm not sure if this question has also been asked, but is there going to be some sort of paid beta before it releases to the general public?
I don't believe that is that is planned. No, people have already waited a significant amount of time for this new game, and we are keen for you to be able to play it. I imagine that there will be some kind of cool game passes and features that do not. I should emphasize that there's not going to be any pay to win aspects. That like at DC, you pay to get out of jail or whatever. Like to wipe records, for example. But
right, thank you very much.
Yeah, cool. No worries. I see Seafall's joined.
Good afternoon.
Are you still at work?
Yes.
Okay, so do you want me to send you that audio again? Where you played the really loud moaning noises in your break room? No?
Who's next to speak?
You want to speak?
No, who's next?
Who's next? Nice Yada again. Please actually speak this time. Oh, okay. Sorry, you've posted in general. Will there be an FD/EMS in Boulder? Not going to comment on specific features, but all I'll say is that we are intending to have an assortment of public services that are not law enforcement for people to join and enjoy, because all aspects of the game are important. Just to answer Adventure 64, how will exploiter attacks be dealt with? If exploiter attacks are too common, will the game become paid access to deter exploiters? So to deal with them, we'll ban them. Yeah. No, I understand what you're asking. Exploiters have been a problem in the past. There's lots of people who want to go around exploiting. We are working on a number of features to detect exploiters. Aimbot in particular is one that I guess is a problem, and ways of detecting that are in the works, because that sort of it ruins the gameplay for everybody if you lose your guns and vehicles and whatnot because an aimbot has come and shot you in the head from like 800 studs away. It gets a bit ridiculous. With regards to it becoming paid access, I'm not going to rule anything out because that's Paul's prerogative to do, but we would try other things first, because that does seem like a bit of a jump to sort of restrict people from the game who maybe haven't paid for it, and then suddenly it becomes paid access. It doesn't seem right. So that's not something that we would look at as a first option. Will the same moderators be the same modern modder? Yes, the USA moderation team will be universal. AKA Cool Guy 96. Will there be an account creation, date script, or anything like that? Again, Paul's prerogative on adding that. I believe there's not a current plan to have those kind of limits because it doesn't really deter anybody. There are plenty of services that you can get alt generators for free where there's hundreds of thousands of years old generated accounts. It's not hard to get access to. I myself have access to account dumps with hundreds of accounts that would very easily get past a creation date script. So it doesn't really deter. All it does is discriminate against new players who might want to join the community, and we don't want to do that. Okay. Abby, maybe if you stop spamming the thing, I could actually invite you to talk, but every time I try and click on it, you keep spamming it, so I can't. Thank you.
Hi. Okay, so is there going to be an EMS team?
As mentioned before, I'm not going to comment on the sort of the release, the exact names of things and like when they're going to be released. But as I said before, we very much want to encourage people in public, a variety of sort of employment opportunities, not just law enforcement. So yeah.
Are we gonna like be able to apply the same way?
How do you mean, like the same way?
Like, fill out an application, or do we have to do something different for the jobs?
It's not going to be a future tops tryout. It will be an application. Yeah. Yes, and cut it out, man. Not cool.
Thanks.
No worries. Thank you. Like, guys, get a life. Come on. I think you've never seen a girl before. Jesus Christ.
Honestly, get bitches.
Facts for real. Lel. XD. Just kidding. Okay. Silverico.
There's a few.
Hello, I'm definitely not the same person. Who makes the logos for
Hold up a second. Okay. This is
my last this is my last question. Okay, who makes the
fine.
logos for nUSA?
I am not going to release that information. That's a Paul's discretion to release.
No. Tell me. I want to know because I want to make stuff like that.
That is at Paul's discretion to release, not mine.
All right. Also, probably swords. Okay. Yeah, that is okay.
Okay. You're welcome. Well, I guess. Same culture again. Hola, Pablo.
Yo, what it is? Hey, I was gonna ask. So, what happens if this county game supposedly go inactive? Like it go dead? Like it's active for like a week, and then it's dead the next. What you gonna do now?
If I'm understanding your sort of like your accent correctly, you want to know what happens if it dies?
Hey, shitty prosecutor, yo, turn up. Go ahead.
It's we can't predict that. If people want to play it, they'll play it. If they don't, they don't. We'll take measures to make the game enjoyable to play and add features and listen to the community. So we make the changes that people want to see. Ultimately, we can't force people to play the game. We can't force it to be successful. All we can do is put in our best efforts to make a well-rounded, enjoyable game for people to play.
Right. Hey, my last question. Hey, everybody in the voice call, can I get a yo in the general chat?
A U? Letter U?
You.
Oh,
I
a
am.
yo. Sorry, I don't speak gangster. My bad. Jesus Christ. Okay. City prosecutor again.
Yo.
Pan blacklist. Bye. I'm kidding. What's your question?
All right, my question is,
I swear to God, if you ask me why I got no bitches, I would kick your ass.
All right, nah. Jetpack for real. My question is, why you a pussy, man? What the fuck, man?
God's sake, man.
Why you a pussy, man?
Okay. Thank you for that. Lovely. Shut up, Bella. Seven Hill Tea.
If this ain't DC, I don't want it, bro. This ain't DC, I don't want it. What's new? This is a county game. Ain't gonna be nothing different. This game gonna die like Ridgeway did. Where my DC at, huh?
It's in development, that's been said. If you give it a try, I
So
think you'll
why you
find it's
releasing
quite...
a county game, huh? Nobody can play that game. Where DC at?
DC's currently
You
in
gonna
development.
answer?
I did answer, but you were
Where
talking, so I
DC
didn't
at?
interrupt you. DC's currently in development.
When?
When? Always. It has been in development for ages.
No. When?
When what?
Give me an estimate. When? Yeah, I'm
A
really about to
while.
arrest you again. I'm gonna arrest you at DC right now.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna arrest you multiple times.
I'm terrified. I'm as Faith says. I'm sweating.
Yeah, you scared. I know you are.
Absolutely, I'm
You're
terrified.
just a little boy. You're a little boy inside that little girl Roblox.
Okay.
You're a little boy.
Wonderful, I guess. Thank
Where
you
my
for your
DC at though?
contribution. It's in development.
So what's new?
Boulder County.
Why are we getting a county game, huh? I said DC.
We don't solely exist to cater to your needs and wants.
No. It's everybody's needs and wants.
Yeah, and that's why there's a bunch of people in the VC.
Yeah, they want DC. They want no trash county game.
That's your opinion. All I can say is that I think
Not
you
my
should give it a
opinion.
try.
It's the
But
people's
it clearly is. Well, okay, it's not a real question. After the, but to make sure that it's properly addressed, we can't force you to play the game. We can't force you to like it. All we can do is make it as well as we know how, and we hope that you'll like it. And we'll listen to your feedback based on it. It's not going to be the same as the DC you're used to, but it's also not going to be the same as Ridgeway. Just give it a chance. That's all I can say. You might be pleasantly
Haven't
surprised.
played it yet, so
Exactly. You may well be pleasantly surprised. We've gone to great efforts to work on things so that it's not the same. Cool. AKA Cool Guy 96. Frostlights. If you
Who's
continue
next?
spamming that, it's AKA Cool Guy 96.
Okay, guys. I've got the best question here, alright?
Yep.
Will value eyes continue to be allowed to abuse in the new Boulder game?
What
Or
do
will
you
that
mean?
be completely restricted to
What do you
DC?
mean abused?
You know, abuse, you know, just in general. You know, value eyes being value eyes.
No one's abusing.
It's a
No one's abusing.
joke. Learn to just go along
Value
with the
Eyes
joke.
is one of the most respectable and
It is a
dedicated
joke.
moderators that we have had. So he has my full support regardless.
Yeah, no, he left. No. Next,
Frostlights.
Tim Culture. Oh, okay.
Yo, what's going on? So, like, is there gonna be illegal drugs in this game so I can I can
That's a
consume
feature.
them?
That's a
Take illegal
feature.
drugs.
There's a feature implementation that I'm not going to comment on.
I mean, I just remember like DC used to get taken down because of illegal drugs, so I just want to know if I can take like cocaine.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's probably not going to be a thing. No.
What about like amphetamine so I can like run real quick?
That's a feature of thing. I'm not going to comment on a feature.
And I got one more question.
Yep.
Apple, why are you such a bitch?
Okay. Yep.
That was a very nice Frost. You want to
really
stay in
wasn't.
and pack with me? Let's go.
Oh, please stop. No, there's no packing happening. Vamptex, invited to speak.
Yo.
Yo.
Alright, so for the new DC, I just want to let you know you staff niggas need to stop being.
Okay, let's not have that language. Tim Culture.
Hello, Rep.
What it is, y'all boys? Edo. So like, what you call it? So for the new DC, right? It's not gonna have the same cars from the old one, and
No.
are the mechanics gonna be new?
Yes.
All right. Is it gonna be first person?
No.
Shoot?
No, you'll be able to zoom into first person, but it's not going to be a first person forced thing. It'll be a movable cursor that you can scroll and zoom in optionally, but like zooming in with the guns is not really fun.
Oh,
I don't think.
so you know how we bought our game passes, right? For the original one, is it finna transfer or not?
Oh, for what?
The ODC, you know the game passes. So let's say you bought the game passes from the ODC. Will it transfer to the new one or not?
Like, that's something that is within Paul's purview, not mine. I honestly don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb and say potentially not, purely on the basis that it will be new features, new different features. But at the same time, the products and game passes that are released in both the new games, whatever they may be, will not be pay to win style like you may have seen in DC. You will not be able to pay to remove your arrest records. It will be fair and balanced, and the option to pay for extra products will add to your gameplay, but it will not be required to have an enjoyable experience. That is the key requirement we're having for those kind of paid products.
Right. Edo, so my last thing is shout out to my boy Frost. You feel me? Edo, you could go ahead and X me out the chat real quick.
Cool, thank you. Vamptex again.
Alright, bro. So my nigga, alright.
Okay, thank you. I have my finger over the button for that one. Oh dear. People don't learn. Silver coat.
Quick question.
I'm sure it's quick. Go ahead. Oh, okay, it's one of those ones. Yeah, okay, it's very funny. Yeah. Okay, that's Bella's talking about. Okay, respectfully, Bella, that's what you want to see. You have to realize that the game is going to be developed on the basis of what we want to be developed. Yeah, I am. So is Paul. But it's very much different. It's not interesting for you. It might not be interesting for you, but then you don't have to play. I've spent this entire stream explaining how it's different. The federal integration, the difference in attitudes, the making it more easy for civilians to get money, making it more interesting for civilians to commit, crime, removing the favoritism bias, introducing more transparency in hiring practices, removing the stupid Ridgeway style background check processes. Need I list more? No mods, admin abuse, no unfairly removing people from the community based on because you insult somebody in the chat. Okay, but then the FedGov is the implementation that you want. So okay, Decode, you make a very valid point actually. In the Boulder announcement, it is stated we will not hesitate to take action to protect Boulder's integrity should the FedGov be abusive responsibilities they're awarded. I don't see how this is fair. given the Bond Department could abuse their authority, and most that would happen is removal out of department heads or something. I mean, if there is a massive problem with a specific department, then action may be taken. The reason I'm saying this purely is because we have had issues with FedGov integration, or for integration rather, issues with FedGov trying to overstep before. If people are sensible, they do not have anything to worry about. And any such restrictions would likely not be permanent, and we'd look to, have different leadership and whatnot to remedy it. We really just have to see how things turn out. A lot of this is just sort of speculative. The gun system is not going to be the same. It's going to be like a third-person shooter style, but it's not going to be the same guns. It's not going to be like yellow raycasts coming out of the guns. Back to the VC. Robert West.
Hi, I've got a question for you, or I have it on my note here. Just let me get it up.
Okay.
Oh my god, my thing is slow.
Facts for real, lol.
Alright, okay, so now the question is about the departments, right? So you're setting a few departments in, but I'm wondering if you will actually give each department their own HQ. Like, don't merge departments into one HQ.
That is a good question that we're going to aim to give people the space that they need. I can't tell you. I couldn't possibly say what doesn't have an HQ at the moment, but the goal is to give people the space that they need to do the job that they want to do.
Yeah. And my second question is, what will the economy be like? Will people who are taxi drivers be able to collect fares? Will bus operators collect fares? What about tow truck drivers?
For tow truck drivers, I'd encourage people to look at Booster chat room. So that's all I have to say on that.
Alright.
For buses, the public transport is going to be free, as far as we're concerned, because otherwise it becomes an issue. Bus drivers to be paid, obviously. And taxi-wise, people will, it's private business. People can do what they want. If you want to collect a fare, you can collect a fare.
So the economy is semi-functional at most right now.
So was that a question?
Yeah, that's the question.
As in, it will be involved. Yes, it will be. That's the goal. There will be the ability to make transactions, send and receive money.
Yeah, alright, okay.
Cool. Thank you very much. So AKA Cool Guy 96 is a question. So we haven't established a sort of a baseline for what is not acceptable. That may well fall down to FLETC entrance standards. That may well fall down to individual department standards. With that said, I am very adamant that just because you do some crime does not mean you should never be able to become a cop. There will be methods through which you can reform, expunge records, and it won't be too difficult because no, you won't be able to murder 70 people and become a cop the next day. However, you will be able to take measures to sort of get yourself to be a legal citizen. Also, let me be very clear, crime alts will be encouraged. We're not going to stop you from doing crime alts. You want to go... We're going to try and maintain like a... Oh. Sorry, a moth or fly just flew into my light and it's now smoking and burning into the ceiling. That's lovely. That smells disgusting. Ugh. That's actually the most disgusting thing I've ever smelled. Okay. It doesn't help it's sizzling as well. Ugh. So I have some insight into how crime will work in the game. Yeah, absolutely. So there'll be legal guns, there'll be illegal guns. You will be able to... There is a functioning economy, so you can hold people up and do kidnappings, you can evade the police, you can go on car chases. One thing we are going to try and do is make it so that the jail time is not the jail times will still be higher than they are you may be used to in DC. However, similar to Ridgeway, the jail time will go down when you're not in game. Secondly, we are looking at other ways of making the jail time more enjoyable. So ways of making, community service, making ways of so people perhaps could escape. That we haven't finalized that yet, but the goal is to make jail less boring rather than just like you can't play the game for 40 minutes, so it's stupid. And it kind of discourages people from playing. So we want to make it so that it's sort of more enjoyable. And it's not just like, oh, you can't play. Go watch TV for half an hour. Like, yeah. Hey, Abby Trashenberg.
Okay. I have 3 questions.
Okay.
So the first one is, will people actually get money for doing their jobs instead of having to rob?
So you will get a higher payout than a regular citizen. So we don't know the final figures yet for how much each person will get, but the aim is I should add to increase it from what people may have been used to in Ridgeway, because that was not enough for people to like sustain themselves. But for let's say I make, I don't know, $5 as a citizen per minute or whatever. That's not an accurate figure. That's just a random number I've made up.
So no.
If you're a cop, you get like 10, for instance. So you get paid more.
But I mean, like, if they do something, like if they arrest someone, will they get money for it? Just
absolutely not, because otherwise all that will do is that's a terrible idea. All that will do is encourage people to abuse.
Like, I was just using that as an example. Like, for example, if someone tows a car and they put it somewhere, will they get money for doing
that? I'm gonna go on a limb and say probably not, because again, that'll just encourage people to go and towing cars that don't need towing.
Oh, okay. My second question is, will prisoners be able to do a job in prison? So we
are looking at adding functionality for prisoners to be able to do things in prison, whether it's like a paid job or whether it's community service or something else. Yeah, we need. We recognise that it's a problem. Because otherwise, what happened in Ridgeway was like you just sat in jail and left the game, and you wouldn't play for 40 minutes, and it was really boring. So we want to make it. We want to make it so it's different to that. Absolutely.
Okay, my last question: will furries get banned like ASAP? I don't like furries. I don't think a lot of people do.
I don't like you. You're still here.
Yeah, well, I'm not a furry, so.
Might as well be. That kind of voice you.
No.
Jesus Christ, the chat. Okay, I'm just gonna add frost sites so people stop bothering me. 5 seconds. Okay, go. Hurry up.
Yo, what up, my nigga? You hear me?
Okay, that's lovely.
So, how you doing on this?
That's not. Never the French person.
I'm not French. Thank you very much, Mr. British tea drinker. All right, first question: fire department.
That's not a question.
Will there be one?
Okay. I'm not going to comment on specific mechanics, but as I
just want to know: will there be a department? It's a yes or no answer. Answer it.
Look,
is it yes or no?
What I would say I really get the politician's answer. What I will say is that we care very much about our players and we want them to have an enjoyable experience. And
Oh my god, is it yes or no? You make it so hard.
Go and look at Steel's groups. Is what I would say. That's the answer to your question. James Kennedy Jr.
Hello, sir. Is this about Culver County, sir?
What?
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yep.
My name is Duke Duo, sir. I thought the Savage Yata, sir.
What?
Duke Duo.
You're struggling as well. You're struggling as well.
Duke Duo, sir. Duke Duo. I thought with Savage Yata. Okay, let me go.
Okay. Oh my god. I could not hold that together. Oh my god. Yeah, Tommy noticed I couldn't. Oh dear lord. Akon, don't knock special people. You'll want to talk. I wouldn't make fun of you then. Chief Albertine, hello. How can I help? What's your question?
Can you hear me? Oh,
Yep.
there we go.
We're gonna be circling back to the.
Okay, if you got a question.
Like,
no, yes.
What federal government teams will be in Boulder County?
To start with, we're looking at FBI and at some point Secret Service, so the government has protection. Then potentially the potential for more later down the line. Bella. Yeah. Any more questions?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. That's. God, Jason got his hand up again. What is that profile picture? Just take a moment. Is that? What is that? Is that a sticker? I hope not. Calculators. Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Hello. Before you ask your question, 1 second. Just want to answer Decode saying I think people are worried that down the line will never happen. The same as Price of Ridgeway, it never happened. Valid concern, but you have a different dev team this time. Ridgeway took over a year and a half to develop, whilst a massive part is being added for Boulder, and the amount of effort going into it has been significantly more. So, yeah, I can't. I have no way of proving it to you, but that it is a different team this time, and we recognize the mistakes of the past. And if it, what I'll say is that all these things are kind of speculative at the moment and need to be established when we actually play and realize what the sort of the feeling of the game is like. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that something and then go back and it is every intention to do that, and I will push very hard amongst the management team to advocate for the things to make sure that we stick to what we have said we're going to do. I can't really promise you more than that. Cal, go ahead, please.
Yep. So I've just got. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sick. Sorry. So I've just got one question, and it's
You're
more for
Australian?
you than I'm Australian.
Oh my god.
I know, I'm pretty sexy, right? Anyway, so my question is, I don't want to get you too off topic, but how does it feel being where you are now, coming from your little humble NSA special agent upbringing, working for me in, I think, 2014? How does it feel?
I'd say, how does it feel not going anywhere since 2014?
Oh, fuck you. I'm sick HLS.
Yeah.
No, I've got a real job and shit, so.
It's like HLS, though. Come on, man.
Are going to. Okay, as soon as we're on the air, I'm waiting for my end, the show, the, I'm waiting for the stream to show me and everyone. Sorry about that. This is the upsides and the downsides of live broadcasting. Oh. Okay, yeah. There we are. Good evening. I'm John of Doom. An undisclosed location. I can't reveal where I'm at, but our studios are kind of broken, and this is the only place that I could actually go to. We are going to cut out of that Q&A session. Just to recap the news of the day, the big discussion, a new Boulder group has just been announced. Let me try and call Jake, as he can join me over the phone if he likes. I am awaiting for that to happen, but just to reiterate, the main story today is that there will be a new game in nUSA. It will be called Boulder County in Colorado, Boulder, Colorado. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's going to be based on Colorado. It's going to be another state game. The main situation over here is that basically it's going to have it's going to be similar to Ridgeway in a way, in terms of coding and stuff. There will be some sort of state and local government, county government. I also asked Jet Paul about businesses. That could be something he's going to work on in the future. It will be integrated, and there will be some federal involvement of some type. We are trying to figure out which. It will not be distinct from nUSA. It will be in the group. It's not going to be like Ridgeway, where there won't be anything else. Satellite games will be interrogated into the group. The federal government will be in Boulder, and a bunch of other stuff. There will be a law enforcement training center, an FLETC. Washington will still be developed as normal. I actually want to... Okay, I think we have him right now. I want to bring in Ray Jakers 113, our FTN News host and president of FTN. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, reviewing everything that's going on, what did you take from this, and what can viewers, bless you, expect from this new game, which apparently will release within the coming month?
I'm skeptical of it still, but I am I'm still a bit skeptical, but I'm very more with it, but I'm much more confident after that Q&A.
Yeah, he tried to answer everyone's questions and answers.
Hold on, I will be right back.
Okay, you do you. While we wait, again, other stuff gonna be in there. Washington D.C. again is being worked on. It is gonna be released, but it won't be like immediately. There might be. He has hinted towards other games too, since there's gonna be some sort of satellite game. The center which of this Boulder game will be Canton City. I'm trying to look it up. It's actually, is it a real city? There's a Canton, Ohio. Cannon City, Colorado exists, but Boulder is essentially going to be the main group, main game for at least right now. You heard Jet Pal say the group management's not trying to force people to like the game, to go play the game, but they're trying to, the main point going across is to give Boulder a chance which was the main part of the group, give Boulder a chance. They're saying that people might like it, people might not like it, but they're trying to make it the best they can possibly make it. Want to reassure you, this county will not be distinct. They're trying to make a balanced environment where law enforcement officers are accountable for their actions, and while recognizing that human beings make mistakes and should not lose their hard work due to smaller errors in judgment. But again, the new game is going to be Boulder. The Q&A is still going on. We just had to go out of it really quickly, or we're probably going to end the stream like this out of it. But it's going to be something interesting, to say the least. The other big story I do want to mention is that former President Hop FR has been blacklisted for baseless pedophilia accusations. As of right now, we don't know who the president is, but there is a vice president, and that is Baked Goods. So I'm assuming he might actually be the president. So we'll see what's going to happen. There's also going to be, so kind of nUSA's government is currently in turmoil for now. We should get something within the coming hours. Hopefully from group management. I'm not sure who, but we should get some clarification in the coming hours. So right now we have...
I'm assuming they're mainly focused on Boulder right now.
On Boulder, yeah. If you're wondering where I am in an undisclosed location. I might just spin
London?
around. What?
London?
I think we are in London. Yeah, this is our
LDM Studios?
Shh. This is actually for something from RTVN. I actually have a set upstairs for a new show that I'm doing over there. I somehow have access to this game.
Traitor.
So I'm not a traitor. This is a part-time thing. But it looks like the GB News set. If you watch GB News, it looks like it. But this is the only way.
Welcome to GB News. Oh. What?
Yeah,
Was
GB
all right.
News. Welcome to GB News. This is actually U.S. News. USA. We're about getting out of topic. We've done so already. This game is expected to release sometime next month.
My only concern, I'm going to say, my only concern is that this game could be a little bit rushed.
Yeah, I think so. We might have something rushed to... Remember, Ridgeway took a year. So there's no telling how long this took. Maybe once the whole Ridgeway stuff happened and Paul realized he's going to get back into nUSA, maybe that's when he decided, you know what, I'm going to compete against these people. I'm going to compete against Ridgeway.
I'm assuming development started shortly after the incident, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. There's been leaks in the Booster channel. They posted some updates, but we haven't really heard much of it. People had to sign an NDA. But the first clue into the new game released today when the nUSA Discord server updated its profile banner. It used to be something from Ridgeway, but now it's I can't actually see it anymore.
Yeah, I think they removed it.
Yeah, but I screenshotted it.
No. Oh, I see it. I see it, actually. Welcome to Canton.
Canton City. Let me...
So I think we have the first confirmed image of the game here.
First confirmed that's released to the public.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the game right now. I'm looking at the thing. Again, the other one actually was the group management thing. They released the application for the FEC, and there was some sort of building that was blurred in. It hints of Ridgeway, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does hint of Ridgeway. It will probably look like Ridgeway. I'm trying to figure out where I put that photo so I can show you. Here it is. it's like a big the sign screen Ridgeway looks like Ridgeway, but again, the main point that Jet Paulsky wanted to make was to give Canton a chance. You may like it, you may dislike it, but we're trying to make sure it works good and it's good and whatnot. So he has high hopes. He wants us to have high hopes for the game when it releases sometime this month. Go ahead.
DC was having a service off earlier today, kind of active. Now it's basically a ghost town. So.
Yeah, now it's
I need
basically
to
a
say
ghost
that
town.
still shows, because everyone's in the Discord too right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are still active after the nUSA rebirth, and we're seeing this sort of activity. If you pay attention, there's been actually some court cases in the district court. There's actually one decision handed out today. I want to point this out. If I can find it in the thing, it's public knowledge. You can actually go in and see it.
There is still certain. Apparently, there are still the Ridgeway County. I could still there's still a Ridgeway hint of Ridgeway County in nUSA, by the way, with the Law Enforcement Training Center.
Where's the visiting judge thing? Oh,
looks like the Law Enforcement Training Center. They didn't get rid of the Ridgeway stuff for it. They still labeled it as part of. They still have the.
I have Chen US, the Calculus, USV, Bezella, USV 07. I'm trying to find it. I think they archived it, but it's USV simply Biz or something. I'm trying to find it, but it's. Let me.
They still haven't removed. Also, one thing that I think that is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Ridgeway County uses the same font as the Hot Table chain of restaurants.
Interesting. How did you find out?
Oh, they're opening a Hot Table location in my hometown.
Ah, nice. Well, again, the activity skyrocketing. There's court cases. The first decision since the activity spike in district court, USV Santiago, the court has found Luis Antonio Santiago guilty of for conviction of extortion on one count. Got 4 days, but additionally 7 days in federal, another 7 days for contempt of court. Apparently, he's like, I don't care at all, blah 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 blah, and just disrespecting the judge. So yeah, that's the first decision we have, and there are plenty more going on. There's one for 072Y, a Zoing Bob, Atomic, Ghost. So there is a spike of activity within the district court that we're seeing new cases again.
I'll be back to. Also, I want to make a personal or a big announcement early in FTN. We'll be returning to the anchor's desk for FTN News tonight. Very soon.
Actually, tease this. We have a new virtual set, and we're building an actual physical one. Actually, I was supposed to do it today, but then all the news broke, so I didn't have time to.
John, how about we stay on the call afterwards and get that done?
Yes, that is what we're going to do. Actually, I've got to figure out if I'm going to eat as soon as possible. So we're going to have to wrap up the stream momentarily in a couple of seconds. But just to reiterate the news, there's going to be a new county game, Boulder County. There will be some aspects of the federal government in there. Excuse me. You okay?
Apologies.
Yeah, but Boulder is going to be happening pretty soon. New and exciting games coming out. DC still working, and Hop FR has been banned for accusations. That ban is permanent. We will have much more tomorrow on FTN News. We'll keep you covered. We might actually have a stream tonight with just me from the FTN News Center. For now, I'm John of Doom, joined by Great Jakers 113. Have a great night. We'll see you back
Good
here
night.
tomorrow. Bye bye.